Like many things that change over time, Winnie the Pooh as we know her today was once Winnie the Pooh as we've never seen her before. The simplest way to see what I mean, of course, would be if Pooh were no longer as she is, which tends to happen every 3 months or so.
What a wonderful morning indeed. At least I think so. Perhaps I should ask someone else just to be sure. Hello, Piglet, my very best. Ah! A bear! Bother. I suppose it's that time of year again.
For those not in the know, Winnie the Pooh is actually a black bear. Seriously, it's true. Look it up. And while black is certainly a radiant color on a bear, Pooh had her reasons for not liking that color on herself.
Now it'll be harder to see any honey on my paws.
As such, Pooh Bear sought for ways to make this conundrum easier, and found the most practical solution of all. A solution concocted by the 100-acre wood's most diligent animal by a hair.
And they work hard too. Hello, Rabbit!
Ah! A bear! Oh, hello, Pooh.
Hello again, Rabbit. Are you the only rabbit on garden duty today?
I always am, Pooh. You know that's not what I meant when I first asked to be called they instead of him.
Oh, then what did you mean?
Simply that I feel most comfortable as they over anything else.
Ah, now I understand. I too feel most at ease around others. I will be sure to always remind you that you are never alone.
Thank you for trying, Pooh Bear.
You're quite welcome.
I suppose you're here for another color job.
Sharp as always.
Well, you're in luck. My latest patches just started to ripen. But I must warn you, every coincidence could be your last. You can't depend on this forever.
I thought you were they.
I'm talking about my garden. If you want to be sure you've got guaranteed yellow for the next coloring, it's fine time I teach you the inner workings of agriculture.
Agriculture?
So help me, it might be. Now, first and worst are the oranges. These babies take 60 days to reach their ripeness point, 80 days at their orangest, and you have to find that sweet spot in the middle by hoisting it up a little bit at a time, and checking its color and density until a balance is struck.
They certainly are orange.
Things are what they are, Pooh. No need to overthink it. Now, as for pears, they're less than half, and with the outer layers changing more drastically, the best method I found is simply to pluck them in pairs.
Rabbit, with all due respect...
And lest we forget the apples and raspberries. No. 6 weeks apiece, ready for a fruit salad of your choosing, provided you've grown the appropriate amount of bananas to tie everything together, since those babies can take 3 years to fully mature.
This all looks delicious, with a bit of honey, of course. But I'm really only here for the yellow part of the garden.
Corn, Pooh Bear, you're talking about corn. Honestly, you're the only reason I grow these things. They do nothing for the rest of my harvest, and they never get any less bitter. These grow at half the rate it takes for your fur to darken, which is why it's important to plant them strategically. Whenever you need a fresh coat, immediately plant a new one so that it's ready for your second to next coloring, and so on and whatever else. Now remember, sunbathe for the next 3 hours for the color to stick.
I don't know if I can do that. I might be too busy doing nothing under the sun after I'm done here.
One of these days you need to find a better spot to live, Pooh Bear. That sand patch does so little for agriculture that it's almost criminal.
Well, I have been feeling less angry since I moved. Perhaps because it has been easier for my friends to find me.
I'm not going to hold you back if you're happy where you are, but this hasn't been easy either. My peas have been out of sorts since I've decided to do this for you, and I think they've reached a point of no return.
Those don't look like peas.
Not anymore, they don't.
Well, I don't know what it is I could do for you, Rabbit. You're so good at many things, and I'm so good at not many. If there's anything I could do, you know I would.
I know you would, Pooh. And most days I understand that's enough. Perhaps you just caught me on an off day.
Well, perhaps it would help if I pressed your on button.
Thank you, Pooh Bear.
I'm here to help, as you so often help me.
Then might you help me in clearing out some of the things in my pantry? With the new harvest mostly picked, I need to make room.
Only if you have honey to spare. I can finally see it on my paws. Today keeps getting better.
There's plenty to spare with twice the honey, so please do me a favor and take as much as you'd... I regret everything.
I regret nothing.
I just regret.
Up north in the great Canucks, with the snow and trees and the geese and ducks. that's one bear's got much of nothing left to do.
And lots of pots of honey too.
So if you've got time to spare for some friends to meet and some tales to share, then make the most along with Winnie the Pooh.